Hi, glad you're here. Welcome to In the Frame podcast. My name is Dr. Alice Gordon Holloway, and I will bring you business nuggets, entrepreneurship strategies, tactics, know-how for those of you who are starting a new business, been in business for 5 years, 10 years, or 25 years. This is the podcast for you. This has been a work in progress for many years, and now my team and I are ready to let you in. Each time we meet in the frame, I plan to give you real-life practical insight and how to use steps that will help you skyrocket your revenues, build your sales funnel, utilize technology, and develop a powerful network, and overall scale your new business or your current business. My mantra is, what gets measured gets done. I am bringing my friend Apryl Fort to In the Frame podcast, and she is actually the CEO of Infinite, which is actually a vegan tequila that she brought some samples by. Now, they're not open bottles, but I'm excited that Apryl is here. So welcome to In the Frame.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Absolutely. I feel like we're kind of going way back. We met years ago.
Yep.
You were in banking and finance.
Yep.
And then now all of a sudden we're in some other kind of business, right?
We made a shift, didn't we?
We're in the beverage business. But I want to talk about you, Apryl, and tell me a little bit more about you. So I've seen you for the years, and I've always been impressed with your spirit and your kindness and just your personality. But I'm also even more impressed that you've been able to transition and transform yourself. But tell us about the Banker Babe. That was a long time ago.
Well, I think Banker Babe and selling tequila kind of goes together, right?
Okay.
Because I was the fun banker. I was always fun. I love to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, this tequila company had nothing to do with me. I actually don't drink.
Oh.
Most people don't know that. I'm not a drinker. I mean, I'll socially, from time to time, I'll taste things.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big drinker. But what happened was, I worked in banking for 25 years, as most people know.
Yes.
Banks used to call me in when they would get in trouble, and I would come in and and do loans to people that looked like us. I also wrote credit policy, and I was an underwriter for a long time. And what happened was, I got to work one day, and my new boss told me, he goes, "I'm not impressed by you."
Wait a minute. Stop the presses. So you were at work.
Yep.
You've been in banking at that point a number of years in your career. You were doing well.
Yep.
And your new boss comes in and says, "I'm not impressed with you."
Mm-hmm.
And how did that even come about?
So I was working in Dallas. Even though people knew I lived in Birmingham, I used to work in Birmingham banking. I had been in Dallas for 2 years working. Mm-hmm. And but I worked remotely because COVID and everything. So I never had to actually report here, in Birmingham.
Right.
When COVID kind of ended, they kind of put me back into the bank, and the closest location was Birmingham.
Okay.
I got to work that morning, and we had conversations, and from my background versus his background was totally different, because I came from the underwriting world. He came from a marketing world.
Mm-hmm.
And just having a conversation, he goes, "I know people talk about you."
Okay.
And he goes, "But I'm not impressed by you." And I had closed like $300 million that year. And I was sitting there like, how can you not be?
Right.
But
the numbers are speaking for me, right?
Yeah. And I had a reputation of closing deals. And so it really had kind of like shocked me. But then at that point, I said, either I could do two things. I could give up, or I could go back and be unhappy.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing my friend drinking online, and he was drinking Patron. And I remember thinking, that's some nasty stuff in my head. It was just like a thought. It wasn't like, I know Patron's nasty, but in my head, I was thinking that. And I remember my mom, who's diabetic, who did not want to drink anymore because she didn't know what sugars were in alcohol because of the additives. Right. So a lot of companies add vanillas and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I called my friend Michael, who I hadn't seen in 20 years. I called him out the blue, and I was like, "Yo, teach me how to make tequila."
Wow.
And I had cried for like 2 weeks before I called him. And Michael said, "Have you lost your mind?" I said, "Probably."
Mm-hmm. But I'm interested.
I said, "But can you teach me?" And he said, "If you fly here, I'll put you on a plane, and we'll go down to Mexico and talk to Armando and see if he'll teach you." So Armando is the one who helped me create the recipes. I go to Mexico, stay down there for almost a week. We come up with the recipes. And when I get back, it's in like mouthwash bottles. It's like, because they ship it back, and it's like in these little bottles. And I'm like, yes. And so I drive to where my friend was, and I gave it to him and his bandmates. And I said, "Hey, taste this product for me." And they tasted it, and one of them said, "Oh, this is delicious." And after that, I was like, I can do this.
So speaking of which, now there's a lot that's happening between the banking Apryl, and then the a tequila company CEO. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I want to kind of string those together so we can really have an idea about what has transpired. Now, you actually have some product that's in beautiful bottles, and I've been seeing this for a while.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult, I would imagine, for you to be a woman in the industry of a liquor industry with all the distilleries and all the issues that's happening. So tell us about the industry itself and how you're able to find and carve your way into the stores.
And I'll be honest with you, I would just say my faith, because I am a person who doesn't give up. And you have to have thick skin to play a boys game, right? Yeah. And I think my experience in banking, I feel like God set me up for this, right? Okay. Because working in banking, that's the boys' world, right? Mm-hmm. You're in that man's world and they're doing their thing all the time, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that my skin was already thick from being in that world. And this right here just helped me transition, because you got to have this thick skin to be in the tequila world. Mm-hmm. And not only that, for people to put you in your stores. Some people are not going to love your products.
You got to get on the shelf.
You got to get on
the shelf. To be able to
get
people to buy. Because you can't sell this just out in the
no, you'll go to jail for bootlegging.
Right. You can't do that, right?
But what I did find is that a lot of things that I thought, and this is kind of interesting that I see as an entrepreneur, a lot of things that I thought I had to be to put this on the shelves, I just had to be myself.
I see.
And I think that people tell you have to act a certain way to be a CEO. You have to do this. And I fell into that in the first couple of years, and we were tanking. We were like, I couldn't really move it the way I wanted to move it. It looked like it was moving. It wasn't sticking, because people seen me as this prestigious person, and that hadn't worked my banking career. That hadn't worked any other career. I've gotten farther just being Apryl.
Okay.
And so when I go into stores, I'm like, hey, friend, I'm everybody's friend. Mm-hmm. I talk to the staff. I make sure that my mixologists who make the drinks, like they are like my friends. I call them, I check on their children. Mm-hmm. And I think I take a more family approach to tequila. But I also will say that I was told no 63 times.
Really?
About even putting it in the bottle.
Wow.
And if you don't have thick skin.
63 times that they said no to this, no.
No. I was calling everybody, you have to have a co-packer because you have to have a bond to get it across the border. Right. It's a lot of work that goes into it. And I didn't know all the work because I had never even made tequila before. I've never put nothing on the shelves before. I had no idea. Mm-hmm. So I finally talked to John Emerald in Opelika, Alabama. Mm-hmm. I've never even heard of Opelika, Alabama.
Okay.
And I talked to him on the phone and I said, this is what I'm trying to do. And he gave me the best advice. And he started going through it with me and he says, I think I can help you. Okay. And he walked me through step by step. He walked me through how to distill it down. Because when you get the tequila across the border, it's 110%.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, woo.
Right. Can't have any of that. Much of that. Yeah.
But we were able to proof it down. He showed me a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So it's really, I would tell you, if anybody wants to get in the liquor or alcohol spirits world, you got to have thick skin and you got to know what people want. It's not about what you like.
Okay.
It's not about what you like. And you have to differentiate yourselves. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of people that do vodka. It's the same vodka that other people do. And you got to make sure that you're doing something different. That's why we went the vegan route. We wanted to make sure that we appeal to a different crowd. And also, when I was thinking about it, I was like, we deserve luxury. Mm-hmm. Black women, we deserve luxury too.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
We don't deserve to have this stuff with all these chemicals in it that they're feeding us through rap songs, right? And it kind of hurt because I love rap music. And I was on a call not too long ago with a big brand, and they had this big marketing call. And they said their sales increased 700% because a rapper put it in there.
Really?
And he goes, imagine if you guys, and this is how he said it, imagine if you guys only spoke about your own brands. He goes, we're thankful. Mm-hmm. And it kind of hurt me a little bit at first, but I'm like, okay, now I have a different goal. So every day we're setting new goals. We're setting new things. We're growing because you do have, so much competition in the market. But when you're your authentic selves.
Now, I have a friend who actually has a liqueur. And so I just remember, and I still remember from years ago, it's so expensive to get it packaged, get it bottled, packaged, shipped, and have the stores to be able to sell your product. And so that process right there is something to me, I remember just his determination to get it going, keeping it going. So how have you been able to maintain with 63 no's and continuing to bring out product? And even when you brought the product, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but let me see if I can show this.
Very expensive box.
It's a very beautiful. Is it right?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, it's a very beautiful box. And so what happened? April brought the box in, and all of these products fit in this box. And I was just first 100% vegan, 0 sugar. But I think I was even more impressed because when I opened it, I'm sorry. Let me just hold it up like this. It was something that was really impressive. And so how are you able to continue to manage through getting it on the shelf? Because that to me is the kind of holy grail right there.
Yeah.
Right?
And not just getting it on the shelves, getting it off the shelves.
And getting it sold.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of mistakes that people make is that your distributor is their job to put you on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
The distributor is going to find stores and sometimes they don't. So I work kind of twofold. So we have certain distributors that they're going to push your product,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll put it out there, and if nobody's buying it, they're just not going to buy you anymore, right?
Okay.
So one thing that I've learned to do is that we have what we call our tasting teams.
Mm-hmm.
We schedule tastings at these stores. So when people coming in, we're introducing you to our products.
Mm-hmm.
That's one way we're able to maintain, and it's also great marketing because we're getting actual liquor drinkers. We're getting actual tequila drinkers.
Right.
And if we can get them in that taste, I always tell them you got 30 seconds.
Okay.
No one wants to talk to you more than 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come in, if you got them in the first 30 seconds, they're going to buy your product.
That's okay.
And then we have a repeat customer. So we have people that come in for whatever reason. They may stop. They may stop
Mm-hmm.
because it is Black owned. And in
Mm-hmm.
this environment we're in right now, we're looking for more unity. So people will say, oh, I've been looking for something Black owned.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll find people to come in and say, oh, it's woman owned.
Right.
I'm looking for something woman owned
Mm-hmm.
because we want that unity. But then we also find people that come in that have diabetes, or we have people that come in that are, say, I can't drink this because of that, or I don't like tequila because of this. And then we're able to explain to them, nope, no burn, no sugar, no hangover. And they're saying, hey,
we're going to try it.
we're going to try it.
Right. Okay.
So, and it depends because everybody doesn't like it, but we learn to mitigate those factors too. So if somebody doesn't like it, hey, we do have other products, and then we're able to kind of steer them in the right way to make the sale. But it's all about your approach to people.
Right.
Yep.
Well, and that's why I wanted to have you on today, because I wanted you, first of all, I wanted to display the beautiful product. Second of all, I want to promote you as a female, doing your big things as well, and a CEO, but not just a CEO that's about happenstance, but realistically, you've been in the business world for a long time. You just made a small transition, I guess a big transition to get into this world. But I wanted you to also be able to kind of talk about the products, since we have them here on display. Just kind of take me through what we're seeing.
Okay. So this is our first product. This is our baby. I call this is our foundation. This is our Infinite Blanco. This is no burn, no sugar, no hangover. But this is what we love to talk about, our vegan product. People like this one, especially if you like the mixed drink, because Infinite doesn't have a taste.
Okay.
So you can mix it and you can have that great strawberry daiquiri. You have that straight margarita. That margarita is going to taste really, really good. And it's 90 proof.
Okay.
So that's what gets people. So I always tell people, look, you can buy this. You don't have to even drink a lot of it to feel good.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we love about it. This right here is our Reposado. This product is just aged.
I see.
Yep.
Okay.
So that gives it the gold tone because it's aged.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Reposado is more of a sipping tequila.
Okay.
We love people to get it. They sip on it. It's strong.
Okay.
It's going to sip.
Okay.
It's going to get you right.
Okay.
Right? We love that. And then we have our Papa Tech. Papa Tech is actually my great-great-grandfather.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and it's a bourbon whiskey.
This is bourbon.
Okay.
And it has caramel undertones in it. And it's red oak barreled. And it's really, really good. We've gotten so many good responses. I was telling you earlier, the lady took her wig off, said it knocked her wig off yesterday. So we're excited about that. We're excited about that one.
Okay.
These are our RTDs. We use these for stadiums. We use these for more of your stadiums, your arenas, things like that. It's like a supplement for beer.
Okay.
So we've been really loving the attention this is getting. We're working on a partnership right now with the Washington Commanders with these. So we're very excited about those.
Okay. Fantastic.
And this is our new baby. This is my baby. I love this. This is spiked. This is our tequila infused coffee creamer.
Oh, okay.
And so we've been working really hard on spiked, and we're getting ready to promote that and put that into more places. We're actually having little spike carts that are going to go out in Georgia. So we're excited on different walking trails. People can get coffee and things like that. And Louisiana has become one of our favorite states to sell tequila in. As far as Georgia, Texas, North Carolina is one of our favorites too. So, and we have a lot of major events. The basketball March Madness, we have some things coming for that with radio stations. And so we're excited about all of it.
Well, I'm happy about that. I want to find out if you can tell us where we can get the products from and how we can support you and your business.
Okay. If you go to drinkinfinite.com.
Okay, and it's spelled up with the N.
Yep.
Right. So NFINITE.
Yep. Just take the I off the front.
Okay.
Got
it.
Mm-hmm. Drinkinfinite.com. It has a location and it can tell you all the stores.
Okay.
And we're very proud because we're the first Black woman-owned tequila to enter the shelves of the ABC stores here in Alabama.
Can I give you a high five?
Yeah, we were excited about that. Like that was pretty cool for us,
Yes.
and for me because I never imagined it. Mm-hmm. Like I always think about like my mom. Like I sit back and I look at her because she's so talented. Like she can build anything. She can create. She can draw. She can do all that stuff. And just to see her like with tears in her eyes when she went into Total Wines and see my product there, she was like, "Oh my God, you have a product on the shelves."
On the shelf.
Like that's been
drive by and get it.
That's been surreal.
Of age, of course.
Yeah, she had all her coworkers go out and buy it. So things like that are what motivates me to keep going. And things like that. But anybody who wants something on the shelves, I tell them to be their authentic selves. Network. Mm-hmm. And that would be the most important part to me. Okay.
Well, I appreciate you. Apryl Fort is here. She's CEO of Infinite Brands, right? Mm-hmm. And she's got these products here that she her team has been really able to do really well with them. And I wanted to have an opportunity to promote her on In the Frame today and have her to be able to share her story. So thank you so much for joining us. I'll be seeing you next year. Yeah. And I probably will see you on the big screen, I'm sure, because you're going to have this where you're doing all the big commercials everywhere. I just see that for you. I'm excited for you.
That makes me feel good. And I thank you for having me and always being a friend. Like you have really always supported me, always been a friend, and I really appreciate that about you.
Absolutely. All about making sure that entrepreneurs continue to do well, and you're doing that. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next time on In the Frame. Thank you so much for being here.
My companies included launching a communications proposal writing company, a video production company, a health and safety firm, governmental agency, supply chain logistics, and even a technology training company and a business management firm. I've even sold Christmas tree ornaments, digital beepers and pagers, radio and TV airtime. I have done it. I've bought the t-shirt, I've worn the t-shirts, and now I started over. My experience has been varied, and collectively I've made millions of dollars in revenue with my many enterprises. But I'm also here as an organizational scientist, where I study organizations, entrepreneurs, build ecosystems, and focus on competitive advantage for startups and more long-term legacy businesses. I have learned so much more that I want to share with you. So I want you to join me for In the Frame. Share, like, follow, subscribe, and even sign up for my free and paid online education classes that I have available. I look forward to seeing you next time on In the Frame.